Now let's get started. This morning we'll be looking at AI's impact on a sustainable future, which if you were here yesterday or any other place in New York, you're probably talking about that a lot already. So without further ado, please welcome our first guest of the day, Ecolab Chairman and CEO Christophe Beck. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Are you awake?
I am awake. What about you?
Not quite.
Well, you did have a coffee, but it looks like they confiscated it. So
Yeah, was not allowed.
Well, we couldn't have any unapproved advertising for the coffee company that might have been on your cup.
Already?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Life. In case other people in the audience are not awake yet, I'm going to open with a lightning round. And Christophe, I can already tell you like lightning rounds.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
it depends
great.
on the questions.
Well, this won't be too much of a gotcha question. Not what we were talking about backstage, which
No?
I can't talk about, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being completely, how much has AI and the corresponding energy boom changed your job?
My own job
Your
as
job.
a CEO? 8.
Okay. So talk about that more. Why has it changed and when did it change?
I thought it was a rapid fire thing there. That's a long question.
Well, see, I needed to get you to say the first part very fast, but now you can elaborate.
Okay, so it was 8.
When did it change? Was it a year ago? Was it 5 years ago? Was it 5 minutes ago?
2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. You know, even in college, we were talking about artificial intelligence.
And that was a long time ago.
Oh, hey, be nice. My God. Just a few back. Well, welcome to the Axios House. So, yeah, we were talking about that, but we thought it would be just a dream. And 2 years ago, OpenAI came to Earth like that, and we thought it would change the world. And talking to colleagues, there were 2 packs. The one saying, okay, nothing's going to change. It's going to be totally fine. It's going to be one of those innovations we've seen in the past. And the other one saying, it's going to change our world completely. And I said, I'm going to take that group because I firmly believe that AI is going to change everything, mostly for the better, but not only. That's why it's an 8.
So Ecolab has been around a long time in a lot of places. It was originally founded more than a century ago, and you're currently in what, something like 17 countries and 40 industries.
What do you mean, 172 countries?
Oh, whoops, gotta do my fact checking. Maybe I should have asked ChatGPT to fact check me.
Absolutely.
But how are you adapting Ecolab to, you know what I did? I forgot the 0.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. Well,
Those
fake
pesky
news.
numbers. That's why, yes, fake news. That's why I'm in journalism, so I don't have to worry too much about math. Yesterday, with the IBM official, she told us about the math that's in AI, and that was very confusing. You probably know about that. But we're not talking about math today.
No, we were yesterday with the CEO of AB InBev, actually, who explained to us that beer was invented 8,000 years ago in the Temple of Wisdom, and that's where math was invented at the same time as well. So probably beer and AI was invented at the same time, at the same place.
Wow, that's amazing.
I guess that's a new news.
So I see an opportunity there for a beer company to sponsor an event on AI. We'll talk to our events team about that. So how are you adapting Ecolab to AI? I mean, you've been around so long, and yet now you're at the forefront of this new revolution.
You know, we're the largest water company in the world. We do infection prevention as well, and AI needs a lot of water. And most people don't know that. But when we think about it, we had a water problem before AI, and when AI came to Earth a few years ago, as we talked, well, we estimate that AI will require the incremental power of India and the incremental drinking needs, water, of the United States by 2030. So in the next 4 years.
Over what time period is that?
4 years, by 2030. So that was last year that we looked at that as well, because you need to cool the data centers. That requires a lot of water. You need to power them. You need a lot of water to power, to generate power as well, and to produce chips, by the way, which is a big thing that we forget most of the time. It's a water business, the chips manufacturing business as well. So it's a big deal for us just to support the infrastructure and the boom of AI.
So talk a little bit more about that. So how exactly is water used in AI? Can you walk us through how it works?
So we'll do it simple. You want to have it really technical, really scientific?
No. Pretend I'm in 4th grade.
4th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I need to reframe then. No, but 2 big parts, data centers. So you have computers in a room, used to be cooled with an air conditioning in the room. well, with the power of those computers today, it doesn't work anymore. You need to cool the chips individually in order to absorb all that heat. You need a lot of water for that.
But you still have a lot of AC.
Not that much, actually. We've been using AC so far, which is a water process. You evaporate water, brings obviously so the heat out of the computer and the building, and that's the way data centers have been cooled for a very long time. Now it's changing with technology, but that's where water is being used in data centers. Then you have the other part that we always forget. You need to produce the chips in order so to put them in computers in order to generate obviously so all the AI that we all love. Well, the chips processing is a water process. You have silicon cylinder. You need to cut it in those wafers that we see in newspapers, obviously. You need to polish them, you need to print them, you need to rinse them. It's a huge amount of water that's being used. One fab requires the same amount of water than the drinking needs of 17 million people. One. And the big ones have many fabs and are building many as well at the same time. So in both cases, you need a lot of water, but we have great innovation that's helping making it work.
So what is Ecolab doing to help? Are you trying to make sure the water use is more efficient? I understand you're working on a lot of recycling of water. Like, how are you helping?
I love that question, Amy. So when you take a fab, it's almost a mile long. It's huge, those production facilities where you produce those chips. Well, the whole process that I mentioned before takes 30 days to go through, so from the beginning of a chip to the end of a chip as well, and sometimes up to 90 days. So it's a huge production process. Well, the way it's being produced today, you have water everywhere, so to rinse those chips at every step of the process, it goes into a wastewater plant, and then afterwards you try to remove the silicium, which is not a good thing, obviously, for people and for planet, as we know, and it's valuable as well at the same time. So what we've done as a company is to invent technologies where you can reuse water at every step of that process. You got the silicium, you reuse the water, you polish it, you reuse the water. It's much easier because
it doesn't need to
one
be like
thing.
It doesn't need to be like pristine drinking water.
It has to be.
Oh,
actually, in a fab, the quality of the water is 1,000 times more pure than the water you use for drug that you inject in your blood.
Wow.
So it's super pure. And
These are very high maintenance chips.
it is high maintenance. And the smallest the nodes, or the most powerful chips that you have, the more pure the water needs to be, because every impurity of the water kills that chip. That's on the wafer as well. So super pure water that you need to reuse and recycle. It's never been done. Less than 5% of the water is being recycled today in chips manufacturing.
Less than 5%.
Less than 5%. And we've developed technology. We're developing technology with the big manufacturing guys in order to reuse and recycle that water at ultra purity level. It's really hard. But basically what we've said, I said we need to redesign all those processes as if wastewater were not existing. Nature has done that for millions of years. We always use the same water, obviously. Don't overthink it, obviously, because the water that you've been drinking, well, came from a different place, obviously. Well, it's always the same that you're using. We're trying to do the same in manufacturing. Well, this is really hard, especially when you need to have those purity levels.
So you're in 170 countries.
Yes.
You live in Minneapolis.
I do.
You're from Switzerland.
Yes.
You mentioned only 5% of the water is recycled. Is there a role for governments to mandate better use of water for data centers?
I don't think that government is the biggest help in that whole story. Government can do a lot of things. I don't know if that's the best. But one of the ways for government to rethink about water, because when we talk about infrastructure, the thing that's really weird with government is that they think about renovating old infrastructure like the Romans would have done. So you kind of renovate the pipes and the whole plumbing and the whole pumps and the old way. It's a little bit like if we were to renovate all the phone lines that we had in the past, because phones are going to work much better like that. Well, you have cell phone today, or you have whatever technology that you want to use. Well, let's go to a total different new technology where you say, well, every hotel is reusing its own water. This is true for a manufacturing plant, as we talked before as well. It can be for a steel mill as well, so that we rethink infrastructure in total different ways, and that government can do instead of renovating old stuff that nobody needs, and ultimately is not going to solve the problem. We need 56% more water than what the Earth can provide today in the next 4 years. And just a quick fact, since you love facts, you put the whole water, fresh water, lakes, rivers, in one bubble. Do you know how big that bubble would be?
The size of Manhattan?
Yes, 35 miles. That's the size of the bubble. You put all the drinking water.
We did not coordinate on that.
We did not.
Did not
No
know.
setup. But think about it, the whole planet, all the water that's available, non-salt water, obviously, 35 miles. That's all we have. You think about population growth, business growth, AI, well, that bubble is all we've got. So we'll have to reuse and recycle it all the time.
Do you think desalination is a solution to the problem?
No, it's very expensive. It requires a lot of energy. It needs to be close to the sea, obviously. So it's part of the solution. But when you think about it, so reusing it at every location is the easiest way to do it. And you know, you get in a hotel and you get all those signs of saying, so don't ask for new linen, so every day, your housekeeping, I mean, all the things that we use to it. We're saying, why do we think it that way? If it's done in a way that's circular, if it's done with power that's renewable, if it's done with biodegradable chemistry, you can use as many towels, as many times your linen in your room as well. It's better life. And the way I think about sustainability, the way Ecolab thinks about it, it's an approach of abundance. Enjoy life, grow faster, but have a good impact on people and planet while doing so. That's the power of innovation.
So we have a few moments left. We're going to do a couple more lightning rounds. Are you ready?
Wow.
These are going to be
Yeah.
actual lightning rounds. So just remember that, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 100 being completely, how worried are you about the water use of AI?
Not much. It's either
What's
it's
the
going to be
number?
10 or it's going to be 1.
Ooh,
And I
that's
think it's
so
clearly
helpful.
going to be 1. Because we have no choice. We'll make it work because the technology exists. Where is the Prime Minister of, or the Premier as he's called, from Cape Town? They went to day 0 a few years back, as we know. Well, they found a solution to make it work because they had no choice. I think AI is going to be in the same place.
Well, that's interesting. You're right. We all heard about day 0 and then we didn't hear anything else. And there wasn't enough stories about the innovation that solved that problem, but there
Which
should
has
be.
been amazing what they
Yeah.
did. You listen to that guy, it's really impressive. And they know how to deal with it in the future. So for AI, a lot of innovation. This is what's powering our company as well. We've been 102 years in business. Well, this one is going to be a big boom. I like it.
Okay, we're going to end with a game of Would You Rather. Are you ready?
No,
Okay. Would you rather work more with governments or other companies?
other companies.
Would you rather have an AI model that always agrees with you or always pushes back on you?
Pushes back.
Would you rather work for a company 100 years in the past or 100 years in the future?
In the future.
Would you rather see the past or change the future?
Change the future.
With that, thank you very much, Christophe, for this conversation.
That was quick. Thank you
It
so
was
much.
quick, because we're out of time. Thank you, Christophe. And now over to Axios publisher, Nicholas Johnston.
Thank you, Emmett.